So, good morning, everyone. Yeah, just let me know. Am I audible to you? Everyone, am I audible? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Fine. So, yesterday, few things we have seen. Right? We have seen what is front end and back end. Right? We have seen front end and back end, and also we have seen the history of Python and the versions of Python, from where what are the languages the Python inspired from. Right? These many things yesterday we have seen what is front end and back end, history of Python, the versions of Python, and also Python inspired from what are the languages. Right. Today we are going to see such an important topic, which is nothing but features of Python. Right. So before learning any technology, we should know what are the features. Right. Why we should learn Python, what makes Python different, or what makes any language different from other language, right? So before knowing, I would like to ask one thing. Did you get what we have seen yesterday? Everyone. Okay, fine. If you have any doubt regarding anything, you can ask me. So, one thing, just tell me who created Python? Who created Python? Fine. Yasin Sheikh. Good. And what is the latest version of Python we are working with? Great, Nikhil. Good. 12.3.2. Is it? Is it 12.3.2 or 3.12.2? Fine. Right. The latest version we are using is nothing but 3.12.2. Okay. Great, everyone. Yasin Sheikh, not an issue. Fine. And what are the languages Python has inspired from? What are the languages? You should know about these things. C++ for what? Yasin Sheikh. C++ for what? For what approach?
C++ for functional modeling
It is
approach.
C for functional oriented and C++ for object oriented.
Yes, yeah.
Got it? So C for functional oriented and C++ for object oriented, right? Also, we have something called Perl, that is for that is an scripting language. Okay, and Modulo. For modular, we have used Modulo 3. Fine. So we have four languages from where this Python has inspired, right? Fine. And I hope everyone knows what is front end and what is back end. Okay. So today we are going to see something really important for us before knowing the topics of Python, the in deep of Python. Okay. We'll deep dive into Python, but before that we have to know something called features of Python, right? So what is feature, right? Features are nothing but characteristics of language refer to the services and facilities provided by language developer, right? How many total of the major features are 11 features, right? The major 11 features we have for Python, they are simple. I'll explain you why Python is simple, why Python is freeware and soft open source, right? Platform independent, dynamically typed programming, interpreted programming, high level programming, robust, which is nothing but strong. Also, both it is procedural, or we can say functional oriented, and object oriented, right? It is also known as extensible programming language, right? It is also embedded programming language, right? And also it supports some kind of third party APIs like NumPy, Pandas, SciPy, Scikit, Matplotlib, right? These are something such kind of APIs, third party APIs, right? Python has its own APIs also. We'll see later on, right? So these are such kind of third party APIs. So one by one, we are going to see the features of Python, right? So first, it is simple. Why it is simple? Because of three factors, right? Because of three factors, Python is known as simple programming language. First, I'm going to explain you in deep about what these are, right? Python offers comprehensive set of APIs. Now, what is API? I'll tell you. That is, application programming interface is nothing but the collection of modules, right? API is nothing but the collection of modules, right? What is module? Module is nothing but it is also the collection of functions, variables, and classes. Module is a collection of functions, variables, and classes. Everyone, you should know about what is API and what is module, because API is the collection of modules and module is the collection of functions, variables, and classes. Getting my point? This is simple. Module is a collection of functions, variables, and classes. How? Let me show you one kind of modules so that you will get an idea why Python is simple, right? Here, if you see in example, we have math, cmath, calendar, random, date time, among others. Among other means we have lots of libraries, we have lots of modules, right? We have lots of modules. If you go and search, I'll show you how many types of modules we have in Python. Own and third party APIs also, right? So here you can see math, cmath, calendar, random, date, time, among others, right? These are such kind of modules we have. How it, what it does, right? What module does? Well, uh, now with the help of one example, I'll show you what module does, right? First of all, simple, I'll go with the different kind of programming language, right? So Java, calendar program, right? Or let's say this also use some kind of, here you can see Java also having the calendar class, right? This is kind of a calendar class, and which is nothing but so get importing from util package, right? From some kind of packages, right? But when it comes to another programming language called C programming, so for getting the month or the day or the year, we have to write this much of longer code, this much of longer code. If you can see, this is just an example I am giving you, right? This much of longer code we have to, right? We have to write for getting a simple month of the year, right? A simple month of the year. But on the other hand, if I talk about Python, we only need module, and modules is nothing but, module is the collection of classes, variables, and functions. Module is a collection of variable, classes, and functions. Let's suppose I'm writing import calendar. What we are doing? We are importing inside this calendar module, we'll be having classes plus variables plus functions, right? So that's why module is the collection of classes, variables, and functions. Now what it does, how it works? Yes, we have imported the classes, variable, and the functions of calendar module. We are going to import the classes, variables, and function of this calendar module, right? What it does now. Let's suppose I am writing A is equals to, or let's suppose directly I am writing calendar of 2024. That is nothing but the year, right? Here we are writing the year. And let's suppose I am printing this print of, this print is a function, this print is a function, it is a method to print anything, right? So we are printing. Now with the help of just two line of code, that is also one line of code for importing the module, and second is for printing it, right? Second is for printing the calendar of 2024, 2024, right? Here you can see this much we are getting every month, calendar we are getting of 2024, right? We can also extract based on the month. Only thing we have to do is we have to use month method here, months, right? And we can go for 5, right? Sorry. right? So it is giving 2024 fifth month means May month, every data it is giving, right? This is as simple as you can see, right? Only with the help of two line we are extracting or we are getting out all the features of calendar module, all the classes, variables and function of module, calendar module, right? Any doubt? That's why it is called a module comprises functions, variables and classes. We do not need to write function, we do not need to write variables separately, we do not need to create classes separately, right? With the help of this module, they have module is nothing but something which already has been created by the developers, Python developers, right? This module, this kind of math, C math, calendar, random, date, time, this already has been created. There is no need to create these kind of module again. Yeah, some concept is there called user defined module. User can also create their module, right? User can also write the module. User can also write the module and use it somewhere. So that is also possible. But those module which are already there, that is they are known as predefined modules. They are known as predefined modules, right? Now, so API, it is a collection of modules. Module, it is a collection of functions, variables and classes. Simple it is. Any doubt? Any doubt? Yeah, so far so good. We'll see now the second. First factor is it has a rich set of API. Python programming has a rich set of API. And when someone asks you what is API, API is nothing but it is the collection of modules. What is module? It is a collection of functions, variables, and classes. As simple as, right? Now, second factor. What is the second factor we have? Python includes an integrated garbage collection feature. Python has inbuilt garbage collection, right? Inbuilt garbage collector it has. What is inbuilt garbage collector? See, first of all, garbage collector is a background process. We cannot see it, yeah, but we should know what is garbage collector, right? So Python includes an integrated garbage collection feature, enhancing the efficiency of Python based application by reclaiming unused memory space. What it does, what garbage collector does, right? So garbage collector is nothing but which collects the unused memory, right? Which collects the unused memory. What is unused memory? Which is not in use, right? Which is not in use. I'll give one example, simple example I'll give, right? Here I am using a is equals to 10. Just see, just try to understand what we are doing, right? I'm using a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20 and c is equals to 30, right? And I am going to print, also I'm going to take a is equals to 10, 20 and also b is equals to let's suppose 30. And now I am going to print b equals to a plus b plus c, right? We have a plus b plus c, which is nothing but addition of this variables. What kind of variable it will add? From this many, among this, what are the variable it is going to add, right? We are going to print d. So it is giving 80. Why it is giving 80? Now you see, before, see, Python reads line by line of code, right? Python reads line by line of code. So if you see, this is This is what A, right? Let me use another one, simple one. Right? Fine. So this is A, right? A is storing 10. B is storing what number? 20. C is storing 30. Till now, A, B, C has 10, 20, 30. But after this, we have again it is storing A as 20, right? It is storing A as 20 and also B as 30. So now this A became 20, this B became 30. This A becomes 20, this B becomes 30, right? And C already it is 30 because we are not assigning another value right here. But these are the unused memory now. These are here, but it is unused memory. And if you calculate this, 30 plus 30, it is 60 plus 20, it is 80. Okay, fine. Getting my point? So this A and B, in this case, this A and B are unused memory. Unused memory means they are not in use anymore, right? This C is in use, this C is in use, this A is in use, this B is in use. But this A and this B are not in use. Getting my point? Yes or no? Right. So this is something, right? This is something we have garbage collector. It collects this two unused memory now. So garbage collector, every programming language has their own garbage collector. Whatever the unused memory there, it will collect those unused memory, right? And it also has background process, right? The garbage collector operates silently in the background. Okay, we cannot see what it is doing, we cannot see how it does, right? Continuously optimizing memories usage, right? See, if we are using this is what we are using the memories, right? A is going to store 10, some kind of memory. B is going to store 20, some kind of memory, right? So it is storing some memory. But in this case, now again my A and B is storing something else. Now these are in unused, not in used, right? So this is what unused memory it is. That's why garbage collector collects the unused memory for betterment of the program, and it makes the program more efficient, right? It optimizes the memory usage, right? Its primary function is to manage memory automatically, thereby enhancing performance. It also enhances the performance of the program. Getting my point? So whenever we are using any, we are writing any program, let's suppose we have one garbage collector here, right? Whenever any kind of unused memory data or unused memory variable it sees, it stores that unused memory inside the garbage collector. G, it is known as GC, right? Garbage collector. Fine. This is simple. Who is this making noise? Roshni. Thank you. Fine. So till now, you have any doubt? You can ask me, guys. Till now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. I want response, please. Nikhil, Lokesh, Radhashri. Roshni, Yasin, Yasin. Okay, fine, no doubts. Okay, Nikhil, no, fine. So got the idea why we are using, or why every programming language has their own garbage collector, right? It collects the unused memory. It collects the unused memory, right? Simple, fine. Now, third technical factor, right? Third technical factor, that is nothing but Python has user friendly syntaxes facilitating the development of error free programs within a limit time frame, right? Why it has user friendly syntaxes, why it is known as simple, right? Other programming language we'll see, right? Other, any other programming language we'll see. Let's suppose for C programming, we'll see one by one, right? C program. So if you see any website, you can go for that. We'll go for this C example, and if you see, we will write simple hello world program, right? For C programming, we will see simple hello world program. If you see in this, everyone can see, is it visible to everyone? Yes or no? Is it visible to everyone? Yes, thank you. So if you can see here, how many line of code? First of all, we have to give the header file, right? For C programming, we have to give the header file. This is mandatory to write any C program or any C++ as well. Then we have to give the main function, the main method we have to initialize, and what kind of main function we are going to use, that also, right? Then for printing anything we have to use it like, and also we have to return if we are using int, right? That is something. And each and every time whenever we are writing a block of code, we have to start it with the curly braces and end it with end curly braces, right? Let's now go for simple program of C++, right? Simple program of C++. Now if you can see hello world program, first this. Here also, if you see, here also we are using the same, the header file, the main method, and also for printing we are using cout, right? And the statement, again return 0. For this also, any block of code if we are writing, we have to start with start curly braces and we have to end with end curly braces, right? How many line of code? 1, 2, 3, 4. And with this it is 5 line of code. Total we are writing for this hello world program, we are writing 5 line of code. Now let's say for Java simple program. If you see, uh, just wait a second. Yeah, Java hello world program, right? Now you can see here in this we have to create one class. We have to start it with curly braces. Then we have to write public static void main, which is a main method, the main area of the program. Again for this we have to write system.out.println and hello world. Again we have to end the class, the main method, and also we have to end the class. So how many line of code? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 line of code for writing just hello world program. Now let's come to Python. What we can do to make Python easier? Simple print of hello world. See, you can see it is printing hello world here. How many line of code we have written? Guys, how many line of code we have written here? Only one line. How many line it requires for C programming? 5 for Java, 5 for C++, 5, right? We haven't written anything kind of hash include or any kind of header file or any kind of main method, anything. Did we? No. Only one line of code we have written for just printing hello world. For just printing hello world, we have written one line of code. So you can say Python is really easy to understand, and also it is really easy to write the program. Also, one thing I would like to show you is whenever we are writing a Python code, we do not need to write anything kind of int a is equals to 10. That is something different. I'll explain you, right? So for addition of two numbers also, either we can go for this 20 plus 30, it will give 50, or else we can also go for a is equals to 20 and b is equals to 30, a plus b. We are not writing print function here for printing it, right? Interpreter knows everything, pvm knows everything about what we are writing. PVM knows each and everything about whatever we are writing, right? That's why it makes Python easier, and with less error of the code, we can write our Python program easily. Getting my point? Simple it is. No need to worry about if you are from non-IT background or non-CS background. No need to worry about anything. If you are from another background also, you can learn it so easily. You can learn this Python program. Really, it is easy. It is efficient. You can use lots of applications to create you can create lots of application to use with the help of this Python program. This Python is booming nowadays, right? You can go ahead with Python, you can go ahead with machine learning, you can go ahead with deep learning, but anywhere, everywhere, this Python is in use, right? Any doubt till now? Good to go, right? Fine. So far, so good. Now we'll see the second feature, right? Second feature is nothing but freeware, and it is also known as open source language. Why it is freeware? If we download any software freely from original source, then it is called freeware, right? So for example, here in this case, if I am writing python.org, that is an official website of Python, right? Here, if you can see, we are using Python 3.12.2, which is the Python version, latest version. And if you click on download, you can easily download it and you can easily install it. You can easily install it and easily you can use it without any subscription, without paying any money, without any kind of charges, right? You can freely use it. No need to pay anything, no need for subscription, right? It is really easy to use Python, and also it gives privilege to use ideally its own ideally. No need to go for any other environment also. You can use its own ideally, right? I'll show you when we it comes to programming. I'll show you each and everything, right? So if you download any software freely from original source, then it is called freeware. And what is open source? Open source is nothing but when we easily move our software or our application which has written in Python, we if we can use it in any other software also, right? That is nothing but open source, right? If we can use the same programming in other software also, in means if it is freely moving, then it is nothing but open source, right? Since we download Python from this, right? Python is free and open source programming language, which means it can be used for free of cost on any operating system, right? If we are using our code in any kind of operating system, that is nothing but open source without any copyright issue, right? Same program we can write, same these kind of program we can write in Mac OS also, in Linux operating system also, in Windows also, right? So that is what this is also an open source language. The source, these are the source, right? These are the source. Whatever we have inside the Python, these are the source, and it is open to everyone. It is open to everyone. Anyone can use it. That's why it is known as open source language. Freeware, which we can download it easily, freely, without paying any extra charge, any charges, right? And also it is open source, right? The source will be open to everyone. The features will be open to everyone. Anyone can use the source. Anyone can use the features of Python, no matter what operating system you are using. You can use it freely, and everything is free. Getting my point, everyone? Yes, thank you. Several Python distributions serves specific purposes. Just like JPython, we can also use the source what we have in Python with JPython, Java based Python, right? Also known as Jython. Okay, so JPython is nothing but Java Python. We are using Java and Python together, right? That's why it is known as open source. The source can be used with Java, right? Also, it has something called Iron Python, IPython you can also call it as, right? Employed to run C sharp or .NET, C sharp .NET applications, right? Ruby Python is also there to use. Ruby is also kind of a backend language, right? So we can combine the both the languages, and we can execute it to create Ruby based applications, right? MicroPython, it is also used for developing microcontroller application with the help of MicroPython. Stackless, PyPy, right? These are something which is this tailored for developing concurrency based application. That is nothing but simultaneously multiple thing can be done, right? Simultaneously multiple at a time multiple thing can be done. That is nothing but with the help of stackless Python we can develop, right? PyPy, primarily used for JIT, just in time, right? JIT, just in time compiler. That is a compiler, right? Just in time compiler. This is what about freeware and open source. Freeware and open source. Python is also known as freeware and open source language. So till now we have seen Python is simple because of three technical factors. One is it has rich set of APIs. Python has rich set of APIs, which is nothing but application programming interface, is a collection of modules. API is a collection of modules. Also, module is a collection of functions, variables, and classes. It is a collection of functions, variables, and classes. Also, it has one more technical features, technical factor, which is nothing but Python has inbuilt garbage collector. Python has inbuilt garbage collector. What garbage collector does? It is nothing but it collects the unused memory. Garbage collector collects the unused memory. We have seen how it collects the unused memory, right? Primary function is to manage memory automatically, thereby enhancing performance. It also enhances the performance. Also to optimize memory usage. Getting my point? Yes or no? Also, it has one factor called Python as user-friendly syntaxes. We have seen how user-friendly syntaxes we have in Python, right? There is no need to write a longer code to execute any Python code, right? No need of header file, no need of any main method. Directly we can write our code. PVM knows each and everything. Whatever we are writing, PVM knows everything. Fine. Also freeware, that is nothing but freely we can download it from original source. That is nothing but freeware software, right? Freeware it is. Python is a software which is free to download. Also it is open source, means we can use the source, we can use the features in any kind of operating system, right? No matter what operating system you are using, you can use the source, you can use the features in any kind of operating system without any copyright issue, right? That is why it is called as open source programming language. These are kind of which we can use Python along with these kind of languages to create the applications, right? Simple it is. Now let's come to platform independent. Why Python is platform independent language? Why Python is platform independent language? A platform refers to the type of operating system, right? The platform is nothing but an operating system. It could be any kind of operating system, any operating system, right? Utilized to execute a program or application. So when it comes to Python, Python is totally an platform independent language. Means there is no specific operating system where only can run the Python programming, or there is no specific operating system where we can run Python program, right? Any operating system we can use the Python program. We can use Python language in any kind of operating system. But also, if we are writing the code in Windows, we can also use the same code in Mac OS. We can also use the same code in Linux operating system, right? That is what platform independent. It is not dependent on any kind of platform, right? For an example, I'm giving you an example. C programming is platform dependent language. C programming is a platform dependent language, right? Let me tell you one example. Let me give one example for you. If you try to download, here it is showing Windows, Mac OS, other platforms means other operating system, right? For Windows we have different operating system, we have different version, right? For Mac OS, if you see, we have different kind of software, but the thing is, it is open. We can use any kind of program or code in both the cases, in Windows also, in Mac OS also. If I am writing this programs sorry if I am writing this program, same program can be executed in Mac OS also, in Linux operating system also. Getting my point? This is how we are calling the Python as independent programming language, platform independent programming. C is platform dependent because it depends on its platform. If we are writing any C program in Windows, we cannot write the same program in Mac OS. Means we cannot use the same program in Mac OS, right? We have to write it in Mac OS. Getting my point? Getting my point? Everyone? Yes, thank you. So this is something called platform independent. A platform refers to operating system. Platform is nothing but operating system. A language is considered platform independent if its application or programs can run in any operating system. Okay? Python is recognized as platform independent because in its programming execution environment, all values are stored in the form of objects, and these objects are independent of underlying OS. Right? Independent. There is no dependency of objects. Everything. If we are writing a is equals to 20, this a is nothing but an object, right? And this object is independent for its operating system. There is no dependency of an operating system here. This object is storing 20, which has the class called integer, right? Let me show you what type of object it is, right? What type of object it is. If you execute this, it will show class of integer. This a is an object which is storing the class of integer type of data, which is storing integer type of data. So the class is nothing but integer here. What kind of class it is storing? Integer class it is storing. Class integer type of data it is storing. Getting my point? Right? So this is something about platform independent language. Right? Platform independent language. Python is platform independent language. Moreover, if we see the fourth feature is nothing but dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language. What is dynamically typed language? First of all, we have to see what is static typed language. Then we'll see what is dynamically typed language. Right? What is static typed language? In these programming language, variable must be explicitly declared with data types to avoid compile time error. Let me show you an example. Right? With this, let me show you one example. Simple C program we'll see, or Java or any program. Let's suppose for simple C++ program. Right? For adding two numbers. Right? Here we'll see for adding two numbers, program for adding two numbers. First of all, for this, how big programming we need to write. You can see how big program we have to write. Right? Now, simple. Now we are going to see how we can use the two variables to add two numbers in C++. Right? Here we have initialize the two variables with something which is known as integer of first number, it is a variable, and second number also it is a variable, and also it is a third number called sum. Right? So three variables we are taking to store the variables, to store the data, sorry, to store the data. Right? And for this, if you see, we are using it for adding two numbers, right? Sum is equals to addition of first number plus addition of second number. But in case of Python, what you need to do, we have already seen here, right? In this case, we have already written a is equals to 20, b is equals to 30, right? And also a plus b. With the help of three line, we are adding two variables. Just with the help of three line, we are adding two. But also, we have not declared it like this: int a, int b. Okay, let's suppose I'm using c also. So I had to write, if I'm using uh, any other programming like C++, I have to write like this: int a is equals to 20, also this semicolon, int b is equals to 30, semicolon, and int c, right? And to store this, we have to write it like this: c is equals to a plus b. But in Python, as it is a dynamically typed language, we do not need to worry about this many integer, float, character, any kind of data type. Okay, implicitly, PVM knows everything. PVM is nothing but Python virtual machine, right? Which executes the code, So here, if you can see, we are writing directly like a is equals to 20. We do not need to give the acknowledgement to the compiler or the interpreter that what type of data we are using, right? But in C++ or C programming, we have to give the acknowledgement to the compiler that we are going to use the data of integer type or float type of string type of boolean type, whatever it is. We have to give the acknowledgement. We have to write it like this: we have to declare the data type before writing any kind of variables, right? In C also, let me show you for C programming. Right, here also we'll try to go for, okay, this one, add two integers, right? In this case, if you see, here also we have to write like this: int number 1, number 2, sum. We are initializing, or we can say we are declaring the data type before writing any kind of variable. And in this kind of language is known as static typed language. C++, Java, these kind of language are static typed language, where we have to write, or we have to declare the data type before writing the variable. Before giving any kind of variable, we have to write, or we have to declare the data type, right? But in Python, PVM is so strong to know each and everything whatever we are writing. If we are writing number is equals to 20.5, it knows that number is going to store what kind of data. It is a float kind of data, decimal, right? Floating point value it is. Point means it is a decimal value. Point is nothing but it is a decimal value, and it is nothing but it is going to store float kind of data, floating point value, floating point value it is, right? It is going to store floating point value. And if you see the type of number, it is nothing but float. Getting my point? No need to write it like this, float of number, right? No need to write it like this. It will give error because compiler knows everything. This syntax is not belongs to Python. We should not write the data type before initializing the variable. Before initializing the variable, we should not write any kind of data type because PVM knows everything. That makes only Python easier to learn, right? Getting my point? That is why it is known as dynamically typed language. Python is dynamically typed language. So what is static type? In these programming languages, variable must be explicitly declared with data type to avoid compile time errors. Getting my point? Yes or no? Everyone. Lokesh, Nikhil, Radhashri, Roshni. Fine. So, static type. This is an interview question. You should know about this. What is dynamically typed language? Why we are calling Python as dynamically typed language? And why other language is called static typed language? Because of two reasons. One is in static type, we have to declare before initializing any variable, any value to the variable, we have to write its data type, what type of data we are using, right? But in dynamically typed language, we do not need to write any kind of data type before initializing the variable, right? In these programming languages, variable do not require explicit declaration with data types. The Python execution environment determines the data type based on the values used in the Python programs, right? In Python programming, all values are stored in the form of object. We have already seen this, right? All the data types or all the values are stored in the form of objects with classes existing behind these objects. Classes are nothing but this: integer, float, string. If we are writing s is equals to Python, this is nothing but it is kind of a string. If I write type of strr, it will give it is a string type of data, right? If I write print of this, then it is nothing but class a string it is. What type of data it is? This strr object is storing str type of data, str type of data. So the class of this object is nothing but str. Okay, fine. So today we have seen four features. They are simple because of three technical factors: API. Python has rich set of API, and also API is what? The collection of module. Collection is nothing but the module is nothing but the collection of functions, variables, and classes. Right? We have lots of modules. We have lots of modules like this. This is random, date, time, calendar, cmath, and lots of there. Okay, in Python we have lots of modules, right? Second technical factor is nothing but it has inbuilt garbage collector. It has inbuilt garbage collector to enhance the efficiency of Python based application, right? Also, it operates silently in the background and also continuously optimizing the memory usage. If any kind of unused memory is there, then it will collect that unused memory. Okay. Third technical factor is it has user friendly syntaxes, right? Freeware and open source, we have seen what is freeware and what is open source, right? Then platform independent, and in any kind of platform it can run. Platform is nothing but operating system, right? The Python program can be run in any kind of operating system. Got it? Dynamically typed means we do not need to write, or we do not need to give explicitly any kind of data type. We do not need to declare any kind of data type explicitly. Okay, for the variable we do not need to declare any kind of data type. And static is nothing but where we have to write the data type, we have to declare the data type explicitly. The examples are C, C++, Java, .NET, etc. And for this dynamically typed, the Python is the example. Got it? Tomorrow we'll see the rest of the thing. Right? So friends, if you have any doubt, you can ask me now. Yasin Sheikh, Roshni, Radhashri, Nikhil, Lokesh. Yeah. I think we should communicate, right? We should communicate. If you have any doubt, you should ask me.
Yeah, sure, Pratyush. For now, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. Roshni, Radhashri, Lokesh. Fine. 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 Yeah. Thank you so much. Uh, Good to see you guys. We'll continue the topics tomorrow at the same time, right?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.